Okay, so Deck Doctor this month is gonna be a little fun, a little different. I want to have a talk with you, and I wanna chat a bit. We just got done with Bakugo hilariously under death as well, and this looks like he's not doing the same thing, which I love,
It's
which I
actually
love.
doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like it.
Like he was all low and I'm completely high and mid,
Yeah,
trying to just go around long lasting and point blank.
my favorite attack in the Bakugo kit, long lasting explosion. We love it. So
I love it so much.
let me ask some prerequisite questions. Is this an IRL deck? Is this a deck that you have all the cards for?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a tabletop deck. You don't have access. What is your access to cards? If I start listing off some crazy, like, put in 4x of the SR, um, how are we feeling
So
about
I
that?
have like 7 decks made and I have a full master set.
Whoa, you lucky ducky! I don't even have a full master set. That's hype.
Yeah. I had a buddy who owed me a big favor, and he's really close to the guy who owns a card shop, so I got like 3.5 cases
Yo, that
and
is
4 structure
amazing.
decks.
That's sick. That's sick. And then my last question is, how competitive do you want this list to be?
I mean, I understand that like focusing on like a gimmick essentially to the deck, there's only like a limitation of how competitive it could get,
Mm-hmm.
but like as competitive as we could get it while following the play style.
Sure. Love that. Love that. So from there, hit me with the elevator pitch. What do you want to do with this deck?
Um, I just really enjoy the like essentially it gives cards without combo
Ooh.
in my idea of it. Like between long lasting and point blank, you just have like obviously point blank isn't as mysterious, but like with long lasting it's like, okay, is it a high, is it a mid? And then like I played the Shigaraki attack lineup just because like the benefits to those cards are insane and they have combo, so it's like double combo,
Yeah.
which when you look at it like a fighting game, like every time you hit a double combo lights and sirens go off
Yeah,
you
of
know
course. Good endorphins. I love that. Signature right swing. Turn to dust. Yeah, man. This deck looks sweet. Okay. Um I love the fact that you're a little thicker deck wise. 60 cards. Not afraid to play a slightly less consistent game to make sure that you can play the game fully. Um
So like that's the thing with like the right swing and then the what is it? The latent skill?
mhm.
Yeah. Is like I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time and like I just thoroughly enjoy cycling. I think the more cards I see, the better chances I have. If I can see more cards than my opponent, then I have better odds than my opponent, especially going against like decks like Kirishima,
Mhm.
who just get to see so many for being a 5 hand size.
Okay. Okay. I love that. Um how do you feel about Decaying Grip and Touch of Decay? How do you feel about those cards?
So like Touch of Decay, just because it's a recycler. It's like, okay, do you want to block it? Cool, I'm gonna pick it up. Like, oh, you're not? That's fine. Then I just land essentially on let's see, what is it? Let me pull up my other tab here. Uh where is it? I have the Touch of Decay on a 4 mid, so either coming off of a long lasting, it's getting +3 damage, or it's coming in with a +3 speed that I can recycle.
Yeah.
Like that's nice. And then like the decaying grip, like on the combo enhance, it just puts you in such a tight position because, like I said, it's either like I would play this after a long lasting to give it a +3 damage, so it's a 3 mid for 7 that you have to have a +3 to block. Like that's annoying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't love inside of this deck in particular. I don't love the Touch of Decay. I love Decaying Grip. I think Decaying Grip is so sweet. to the point where I would put like the only change attack lineup wise, if we didn't want to like include any other moves, would be I would put Touch of Decay down to a 1 of and Decay and Grip up to a 4 of. I think Decay and Grip after Long Lasting Explosion is just like 9 damage for free, right? Because it's long lasting, they have to block, right? And then that like from there, Decay and Grip is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 off of Bakugo's Enhance. Not to mention anything else like our capabilities. Like Decay and Grip into capabilities is like an absolute beating. Like it's so crazy, and you're gonna be getting a lot of momentum just because like they don't want to block your moves. At least game 1, game 2, they're actually a little less afraid to block your moves, just because you do have this combo keyword, and combos don't actually work spectacularly in Bakugo, just because you're losing half of your character's ability. You're losing the response, right?
So like that's the thing. Like even Touch of Decay, like I have down at a 2 of right now, just because I felt like out of all of the attacks, it was the weakest. But I
Mm-hmm.
felt like, because it's like a recycling attack essentially. Like if it's not,
Right.
if they completely block it to try to not take it, it recycles itself, which is why I kind of had it down at a 2 of.
Yeah.
The only other attack I was thinking of playing would be the SR, just because, like you said, we don't have a lot of ways to deal with like or move like our momentum. Wait, what was that?
Correct. The only
No.
momentum outs that we have is
Yeah.
a
So like
turn to dust.
to be able to give something powerful too, like if I come in with like even if it's a turn to dust off of long lasting, so it's getting the +3 speed, it has EX to make it quicker, and then you give it powerful too, like that's just nuts. Like that's your kill card.
Yeah.
At the end of the chain. So, but I just couldn't find the rhyme or reason to fit it in. I guess is where I'm at on it, just because like our attack count was already so high, uh, comparatively. Like I know I
Yeah.
have to draw a lot of attacks to win, but like I don't want to open 5 attacks starting up because I still have to build to get, you know, to this nice little combo chain.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Yeah, Touch of Decay is one of the best cards as a finisher. Like this card is insane if they're at 6 health, right? You play it on a 5, you commit your cool foundation, you blow up that foundation for the +2 damage, and then they have to full block it. If they don't full block it, you get to just pick it back up and then play. If they do full block it, pick it back up and play it again, commit the foundation and do the thing. Yeah, it feels great. It feels really, really good. Nebula Purple in chat says, "What about Corrosion Lunge?" Which I can agree with. Have you looked at that card at all?
Let me see. So I don't think I looked over Corrosion Lunge because I don't think it was a mid or a high. I think it's a low, isn't it?
It is a low. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
So that's why. Yeah. So like I had strictly kept this all mids and highs just because like long lasting 5 for a 5/6, and then you have Bakugo's enhanced, so it's 5 for 5/8.
Mm-hmm.
To lead into something else just following up. I wanted to be able to keep that consistency and keep his enhance live at all times.
Okay. I'll ask you 2 last questions. Merciless Rush. How you feel about that card? It's
I love that card.
4
That
high
card
for
is
5.
really solid.
Okay. And then instant explosive release.
Instant explosive release. I looked that one up.
The 3 diff 3 high for 3. If my
Okay,
first
yeah.
attack dealt damage, I get
Dealt
to put momentum.
damage. Yeah. I like that card. I think I had cut it because it was it gives a +2 on next. I think I had cut it just because its stats itself were low. Like, yeah, it was a cheap card, but it was a low cost.
Yeah.
And I wanted something that kind of impacted my opponent a little bit more to kind of keep pressure. Like the +2 damage is nice, but like Bakugo's Enhanced does that, and I think I have a couple found. Like I run capabilities that we use to ditch the momentum with.
Yeah.
There was something else I thought that I had in here.
The big thing about this card is it just says that that instant explosive release triggers capabilities on a turn that you don't have momentum, right? Because we're not running the XR or the SR.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I had the SRs to play, but I was just like on the fence about them because I was trying to find, which route would be better. I don't have a very large playtesting group around here, so a lot of the times it's me playtesting on my kitchen table, deck against deck. So it's like
Totally,
my mind versus itself.
totally fair. Yo, Point Blank's a low block. That's kind of hot. It's interesting. I've only ever played Point Blank with. I've only ever played Point Blank with. What am I even trying to say? I've only ever played Point Blank inside of the demo decks, and that card just like gets auto countered by Midoriya. And so like I guess like
Yeah,
I've never like felt the value of that card. But this card is essentially setup strike, right?
essentially,
It's a
yeah.
5 diff
Like
setup
it's
strike.
so it's like there's and then like also it's a 3, so that and agitation are like my blocks in any kind of like Shiggy matchup.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you brought that up. Wow, I love that you brought that up. Um, that's so important. Uh, yeah, man. I think that the weakest attack that you have in the deck is just
Okay.
Touch of Decay. But I mean, if you like that card, then I can't tell you to cut it because I don't think that there's a better card to put in besides maybe Merciless Rush. But you just don't need that block zone, right? Um,
Yeah. So it's
'Cause like your other
that's kind of why it's kind of why it's at a 2 of is because it was kind of like a I need a couple more attacks to make sure I'm not just drawing all foundations because I need attacks to kill.
wait,
But like as far as everything else, it kind of came out to and then it also comes down to like the blocking numbers,
yeah,
like the high mids lows.
yeah,
So like it
it's
was a
your
good
only
high
high
block.
block. Okay, it's your only
Yeah.
high block, which means we have to shore that up with our foundations.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because like I have other high blocks, but like its capabilities and super regen, and they're 4 high blocks, so it's really bad.
How would you feel about like putting Point Blank down to a 3 of, and then just tossing in one more like off zone attack, right? Like maybe it's even the like Blast Rush Turbo, because like Blast Rush Turbo can just win the game all by its lonesome. It gets very fast, it gets very very hard, and it like if my opponent sees what you're doing, they're not going to hold the low, and then Blast Rush is just going to blow them out of the water, just as like a one of, right? Because like
I
the
feel like
Point Blank only works on itself. It works on, I guess it works on touch. It works on decay. It works on long lasting.
you know what that I think that's really good because like in all honesty, I could cut the touch of the kids because like don't get me wrong, like the combo enhance is nice, like it's a good little like gotcha, but
Yeah.
like if we're gonna go in and like incorporate any kind of off zone, like the Blast Rush Turbo is really solid. It's a 5/4 low for 5, so it could be it's 5/4 low for 7, and then
This is
dump
the My Hero Academia collectible
capabilities
card game,
and
buddy.
yeah, no, that's really solid, and it's a 3 high, so it kind of replaces the high block that we were looking for in
Right.
um, the Touch of Decay.
And it gives you like just another piece of momentum out, right? Like it gives you just one more
Yeah,
thing to be like, yo, here's
yeah, it's like hey, because like if these attacks are connecting because I'm pumping them, like there's going to be a lot of momentum sitting there. It's going to be a lot of like wasted potential
yeah.
for like abilities and shit.
And like
So
if you draw touch decay all by its lonesome, right? That card doesn't do anything. Like it's very low impact.
exactly,
But if you draw Blast Rush Turbo all by its lonesome, and they got 3 cards in hand and none of them are low blocks, and you just like put this card down and make it 10 damage, like give it plus 10,
like
it's like,
between that,
huh?
if
I was
you
at
have
8.
like a capabilities or
Yeah,
what's the other one? The Let's Fight Bad Guys.
yeah,
Like it gets really quick and really big, and then like by itself it's a threat that people have to sit down and like, okay, what am I going to do about this? And then you follow up with like a long lasting into like a turn to dust or something, and now they're just concerned.
yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. That's really really solid actually, and it gives you and it forces like without touch of decay, you've got less chances to like miss the response on your character because like oh man, I gotta have this fury in my card pool. It like does not feel as
Yeah,
bad. Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be the only cut attack wise. Assets actions. Why 2 trace sheep and not just the one?
So funny enough, I have been playing. with the one for a good while, and I just have like ultimate shit luck that it's like every time I check, it's the cape. Like every time I check,
Okay. Hey, that's fair.
I think I've probably played like 10 to 15 games with multiple decks that have like Trishy cape as a one of, and I think I've drawn it twice. Like I just feel like I have shit luck with this card of drawing it like that. So I bumped it to a 2 of just because I felt like my luck is awful. Like statistically, it shouldn't be that bad, but I had just had it bumped up just because like I feel like I was milling it way more than I ever saw it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that. Where's your evil case?
You know what? That's a wonderful question. Um, I'm pretty sure in the original draft of this deck, I had it in, and I cut it for whatever reason that's not been announced to me now.
I
Like I
love it.
haven't looked back at this list since I submitted it for the deck doctor.
Okay. You're not leaving today without the card out of 4 in your deck. Uh,
Yeah.
okay. On to the foundations. I'm gonna put it by difficulty. We've got spam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 18 spam. That's fine. That's a good number. Love the let's fight bad guys. Love the arrogant dispositions. Love the tight-lipped. Those all are good. How do you feel about mediator as a card? Did I lose you?
Sorry about
Oh,
that.
you're all good. I was nervous.
Forever attack gets -3 speed if you played an action card this turn. Draw one card. Um, I like it. Like it's spam. It's a 3 high, so it's a block. Oh, actually, no, it's not because it's no. Yeah, it's a half block, right?
Yeah.
I'm not out of my. Yeah, okay, so it is half block. It's a
Do
half
you do
block
you have a
for.
Shigaraki versus in your meta? You have a lot of Shigarakis.
I have a big Shigaraki player, and then so like I said, I have 7 decks. So anybody who has any kind of interest in the game, I loan them a deck, and a lot of people tend to gravitate towards Shigaraki because I kind of explain what the decks do, and then I just tell them how good Turn to Dust is, and they're like hooked.
Yeah, what a homie. That's cool. That's so cool of you.
Yeah. Um, but I like the speed disruption, just because, like I said, like I have like in God forbid worst case scenario, we have those 2 4 highs, and then we have a Trishik cape that's a 4 mid. So like giving the minus speed kind of makes those not as bad of a block if I have to resort to it.
Mm-hmm.
But and then like obviously like we're gonna put the 4 evil gaze in, so like if I play an action card, I get to draw, which is nice.
Okay. How do you feel? I think without the action card, I think this card is not very good in your deck. I think once you include the action card, like it's got a lot of playability, and it is good. I'm sure you're here for the whole last deck doctor that we just did.
Yeah.
Aggressive temper is my next big question. Why this and not burst speed?
Uh, I think I had that in there for. I think I had it in there for my Turn to Dust, just to give it extra damage on top. If I'm, like I said, like we were debating the SR, so because it gets the plus speed off of long lasting, and so I needed a way to give it a little bit more damage on top to kind of really just get out of the range of them going okay, like because I can essentially it's like -4 that they could pay.
Right.
And then so if I can just make it bigger, like Turn to Dust in this deck, in my opinion, is the kill card. So I just wanted to have every resource available of like, okay, Bakugo, pop temper, give it +4 damage capabilities to just send it over the top for the kill. Stun 2, I can boost the speed on top. Even if long lasting didn't come prior, I can pump the speed even more with EX just by discarding momentum.
Okay.
So I think the idea there was just kind of like all my eggs in one basket. Like, here's a Turn to Dust. Like, are you set up well foundation wise? No, I feel bad.
So here's the only pro that I see to aggressive temper, right? Is aggressive temper's ability can kill my opponent, where burst speeds cannot, right? Because it's burn, it's guaranteed burn as opposed to +2 that they can block, right?
Yeah.
And it's a 2 mid block, which is better at blocking versus everybody except for Decaying Grip, right?
Yeah.
For the burst speed, it's still a 2/5. It's a 3 mid block, which means it's good versus that Shigaraki matchup, and it's the correct zone that you want. It is guaranteed burn 2 as opposed to possibly just 1 damage, because if they partial block the turn to dust, right?
It's half.
It's half. And they do literally the same thing. So if you are saying that you are using aggressive temper to close out the game, I agree with the aggressive temper choice, because like it can kill them. But actually, no, I have to disagree. I have to disagree with this, because like you burn them and then turn to dust happens. Yeah. I think
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
No, that makes total sense.
The spot of this deck, because we have these extra cards to play with, is I think aggressive temper is not the right call.
It's an obsolete. Yeah, it's just an obsolete version of. And then also aggressive temper won't do anything against Nomu.
Correct. Yep. Very, very much so.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No. That's very very insightful. I didn't even think about looking at it like that.
And then the last question I have is, where is encouragement?
I noticed that when you were talking in the last deck doctor about not having encouragement, and I had quickly realized that I had made a mistake.
The question is are you down to make this a 64 card deck, or do we have to find 4 cuts?
Well, so I'm totally down to make it a 64 card deck, just because 4 latent skill, 3 signature right swing. I have 7 filters.
Yeah. And they're big filters too. They're not 1 for 1, they're 2 for 2.
Yeah, and then if we're playing Evil Gaze, then I also have, Mediator on, another add, draw.
Yeah.
So I think that's very, I feel like there's enough cycling and ability to see cards in this deck that I'm not worried about the deck size so much, just because we are a 6-hand size.
Yeah.
So, I'm not as limited as a 5, not as blessed as a 7, but
blessed, love
with as much filter as we have.
Yeah, not to mention Trey Chic and Glamorous being able to unflip this latent skill, lets you just get to push that advantage a little bit further. Yeah,
exactly.
I think this is fine. I think if I had to make any sort of cuts, you heard it last time, I don't think Summoner Style is stunning in this deck. I'd actually kind of rather it be a low block, even if it's like a one of either, because you're playing the combo, you get to get away with low block. You get to get away with Late Riser, possibly, because of your latent skill and the signature right swing. You can get the +1 speed off of this card accidentally. It's a 4 low block, which sucks. It's bad. It sucks. I would put in the Villainous Entrance at like a 1, maybe a 2.
So the someone with style was there simply because, if you look at the high locks, it says I have 16.
Yeah.
I have 12 because there's 2 super regens and 2 capabilities.
2 super regens and 2 capabilities. I love that. How do you feel about super regen being another 2 of?
I like it. Just simply because Trishi Cape and Glamorous. I feel like as long as I can get 1 out, I'm okay, because I can recycle it very well. I didn't want to bump it to a 4 of, just because, like I said, that's just eating into the usable high blocks that I have.
Yeah.
Even now, sitting here looking at the deck, I feel like I don't have enough viable high blocks, just because 4 of my 16 are to a degree useless unless we can get off the mediators.
I mean, that's where we get to sideboard, right? Being able to sideboard.
Yeah.
Being able to sideboard things like Apathetic. Night Watch is not a terrible card to sit in your side, because we're going to be tossing that for that action. Apathetic is great. Brute Strength sucks. Keen Observation is neat because we're playing. We're going to be adding in burst speed as well as the Turn to Dust. Those are options that we get to just to play around with.
Yeah, so in the description of the deck, I had put in that the sideboard was going to be mainly focused, because there's even the few amount of players that we have that do play my hero at my locals, there's like 3 Ochako decks.
Yeah, man, she's sweet.
So the sideboard is complete uh hate for momentum. So like Exploding Pride, and then what is the foundation? There's a foundation that messes with momentum too, isn't there?
Does a foundation under
Or
death?
am I tripping?
I
It might
think
not be under death,
I think
so I might be tripping.
think you're tripping.
I probably
Under
am.
death. Yeah, I don't think so. No, there's nothing under death.
No, there's not. There's not. Okay, so I am tripping. Um, but yeah, so like against them, I would side in 4 of that. Like I would immediately side in 4 of those just because they deal so much with their momentum that it's really annoying, and I don't feel like dealing with that just because uh, Meteor Shower is a very annoying card.
I agree. And so does Nasiro. Nasiro also thinks that
Yeah,
Ochako is
Zero.
pretty good.
Yeah,
No.
and then it's also good against like the momentum hate. I think is really good against the Eraserhead matchups and the Ida matchups, just because Recipro Burst is a card. Like if I can
Yeah.
kind of gotcha and get them away from their momentum before they're able to send out their kill attack and hit me for like 25, then
Mm-hmm.
that's a good day in the books.
I am gonna say this deck is gonna have an issue with something like Recipro burst, because if they're smart, they do their stun before they do the thing. Like the only thing we get to really fight that is Summoner style.
Yeah.
Like 24 low for 28 is like going to kill everybody. And there's not really a way for our deck to really deal with that. So you just got to kill them first.
And yeah, so like that's the kind of thing is like I want to put them at least like in a mindset of like if I can pop off and mitigate their momentum,
Mm-hmm.
then like in my mind as a player, it's like I don't want to play this card because I'm not set up for this card. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's only so much this card can do right now. When given in a couple turns, if I can somewhat set up again, it'll do a lot more.
And that card's a high block, so you could like take back out your either you take out 3 of the touch decays or whatever the card Blast Rush Turbo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of options. Like I said, like the sideboard is still to come just because we don't actually have competitive play yet.
Correct.
But once that starts coming in, I can really start seeing at least how the meta is forming in my locals.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like I wanna look beyond my locals because like my hopes is to be able to go and compete when they start having like regional events and such.
Boy howdy, I want that so bad.
So like I'm in California, and like as far as every other game is concerned, there's always like massive amounts of like regional events. And
Yeah.
my locals is complete drop ship on like let's run with my hero. Like I introduced them to the game and they picked up as much as they could and sold out as quickly as they got it.
That makes me so
So
happy. That's so cool.
I'm hoping that the local scene starts picking up, and it's like don't get me wrong, like I appreciate that people are interested in the game, but I feel like a lot of them right now are just like collectors.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm hoping that and those cards actually get to be used properly. But at least that's my hope. So like this deck is like I said, it has a gimmick to it. But like I would hope to be able to take it into a competitive scene and see at least decent results with it because Bakugo is my favorite character. And I just want to be able to play a very good version of his deck that I enjoy.
I think that this deck is really, really solid. I think it's really good. I think if you really want to make Bakugo competitive, maybe next month we look at a fire build because that is where I'm headed to next. I have a death build that I think is fine, but I think I'm gonna be pushing towards fire next because like all of your attacks currently have fire, and I think your foundation quality is higher under fire for the things that we want to do. But that's something that we'll have to just discover next time.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, I just want to have a really like one is to be fun and enjoy, but like I'm a pretty competitive player, so I'm having fun if I'm winning.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
I hate to put it in that retrospect, but that's just
people are spikes. I get it. I love
Yeah,
that.
like if I'm enjoying the event because I'm doing well in the event, then I don't care what I'm playing most of the time. But
Yeah.
Bakugo is my favorite character, so
So let's make it happen.
yeah, most definitely.
All right, man. You find this helpful?
Very. Thank you.
Good. We'll see. If you have any questions, let me know how this does locally over on Patreon. I would love
Yeah,
some updates and whatnot.
most definitely. I'll send you some messages.
Please do. All right.
Awesome.
Peace, man.
Later.